What's up, Texas basketball fam? I'm Keenan Womack, here with OB Hoops. Before you do anything else, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Now, this content is brought to you by Seth Fowler, Real Estate Sherpa. Seth Fowler graduated from Texas in 1998. Since 2004, he has been helping home buyers and sellers in the DFW Metroplex. Whether new construction, existing homes, investment property, or land, he is your Real Estate Sherpa, guiding you through the process, making it an enjoyable experience. Based in Tarrant County, however, he will help connect you with a quality realtor anywhere in Texas, the United States, or in the world. So when looking to purchase or sell real estate in this new market, call Seth at 817-980-6636. All right, let's get going. Texas basketball around the corner, tipping on November 7th against UTEP. They play a big-time exhibition matchup against the top 10 ranked Arkansas Razorbacks on Saturday at the Moody Center. Tip is at 3:30, and you can watch on. No, you can't actually watch on the Longhorn Network anymore. They changed that. I don't know why. So you're gonna just have to follow along on OB. Unfortunately, it's not fair. I don't really understand what the Longhorn Network's purpose is if it's not airing things like that. But what are you gonna do? So Texas comes into the season ranked 12th in the preseason AP poll, but after looking at some of the teams last season and their preseason rankings, Texas, Michigan, you can pretty much realize that it doesn't mean much to be highly rated before season tip. And I think the team understands that. They also understand that it's not a big deal to be nominated for early awards. It's peripheral. I asked Timmy Allen about his being voted to preseason all first team Big 12, and he basically said it doesn't matter to him. It's not important. Marcus Carr was also voted to the all Big 12 team, and freshman point guard transfer Tyrese Hunter was an honorable mention, and he's also a nominee for the Bob Cousy Point Guard of the Year award. But again, this team was top 5 to start 2021 and finished about 25th overall and 4th in conference. The primary difference between last year's and this year's teams are athleticism. I would say the team struggled against elite athletes last year: Kansas, Baylor, Texas Tech. They went 1-5 in their 6 games against the best teams in the conference, the lone win being that big upset of Kansas at the Irwin Center. Tyrese Hunter, Dylan Mitchell, and Arterio Morris are above the rim type high flyers, however, and they'll all be guys that will be getting plenty of run throughout the season. Hunter and Mitchell are going to start. I think Morris will come off the bench. So I think the starting lineup is going to look like Tyrese Hunter at point, Marcus Carr at shooting guard, Timmy Allen at the 3, Dylan Mitchell at the 4, and Christian Bishop at the 5. Now, there are 2 major concerns with this team. The first is lacking a big man, and they don't have anybody over 6'9", right? So in a press conference, somebody asked, what are you going to do about rim protection? And what Chris Beard said was, rim protection is a team game. So it's not all about having one big in the middle. It's about taking charges. It's about playing good perimeter defense to prevent easy looks, easy drives to the hoop. But to me, that all kind of seems like coach speak for we don't really have a big center. They have Christian Bishop, who's really effective, considering that he's only 6'7" as a center. The problem is the Big 12 has a lot of big guys this year. Fardaws Imack from Texas Tech is one of them. He's about 7 feet tall. He can step out and hit the 3. He can spread the floor. He can rebound. He averaged almost 14 rebounds per game at Utah Valley last year, along with almost 19 points. He broke his foot recently, but he should be back for conference play. Musa Cisse from Oklahoma State, who was Defensive Player of the Year last year in the Big 12, and is an absolute stalwart in the middle there. It's very hard to score against him. And he's about 6'10", 6'11". And then they have TCU has Eddie Lampkin, who's I think 6'10", 280 something. So there's no lacking bigs in this conference. And even if you look at the non-conference slate, they have to deal with Drew Timme at Gonzaga again this year, who absolutely torched them last year for 20-something points in the first half, over 70% shooting. It was not even close. I mean, the game ended up being an 8-point game, but you could tell who the real dominant team was when they were up by 20 at the half. So the X factor is going to be Dylan Dessou. If Dylan Dessou can pick up where he left off from Vanderbilt, where he had a 29-point, 16-rebound game against Kentucky. This team's ceiling raises exponentially because that is their weakness, really, other than shooting, which I'll get to in a second. But if Dylan Dessou can return to form, be an explosive athlete after his knee injury a couple years ago, he's finally had a full offseason to prepare. He's had a full offseason to practice. He'll be playing a lot this year because he was on minutes restriction last year. And it's hard for guys to find the rhythm, A, coming off of an injury, and B, when they're playing limited minutes. So I think he's going to get a lot of run this year at the 4 spot. Christian Bishop is pretty good too. He plays much bigger than he is, but he is only 6'7", so he's the same height as Brock Cunningham. The tallest player on the team, other than Dessou, is Dylan Mitchell, but Dylan Mitchell is more of a perimeter defensive player even. You can play him some down low, but not a lot, and he's just much more effective on the wing as a guy who can prevent shot. I mean, he's built perfectly for the no-middle defense. I mean, icing ball screens is not going to be a problem for him because he's 6'10", and he's freakishly athletic. He's super quick, great foot speed, great footwork. So I think that they are going to try to figure out what to do about defense at the rim, but really it's going to come down to whether Dylan Dessou can round into form. The other big problem with the team is three-point shooting. Their best three-point shooters from last year left. I mean, maybe not statistically, they weren't all the best, but the shooters left. Courtney Ramey, Andrew Jones, and Jace Febres. And Febres had a rough season, but they are lacking outside shooting. So this has been a problem for them for a while now, it seems. Hopefully for them, certain players have worked on their range a little bit. Maybe Timmy Allen has expanded out further so he can hit threes, because he only took 15 threes last year, I believe, and hit 4 of them or so, something like that. And then Marcus Carr was inconsistent for 3. Tyrese Hunter, even though he went off and hit 7 threes against LSU in the NCAA tournament, he still is not that consistent. And so hopefully for Texas fans' sake, he picked it up and continued to shoot well. He shot well in the scrimmage against U of H. I think he hit 4 threes. That's what somebody told me. So, if that becomes a part of Tyrese Hunter's game and he becomes a consistent threat from 3, watch out, because this team could really go places. So Texas takes on Arkansas in an exhibition game on Saturday, where it won't be televised, so you'll have to follow along on OB or find a radio stream of it, unfortunately. And I will find out what radio stream that is, and I'll post it in the comments if it is indeed available to be listened to. So Arkansas is no joke, man. They have national title intentions this year, and they have national title talent this year. They landed one of the best recruiting classes in the nation. I think it was 2nd overall behind Duke. And they have the 2nd best player in the country behind Derek Whitehead from Duke. They have Nick Smith Jr., who is a combo guard who will probably be a top 5 pick in a loaded 2023 NBA draft class with Victor Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson and the Thompson twins. And he could still go in the top 5. That's how talented Nick Smith is. But not only did they bring him in, they brought in Anthony Black and Jordan Walsh, who are also both 5 stars. Anthony Black is a kind of a point guard, 6'7" point guard, kind of a combo guard. He's 6'7", from Duncanville, part of their state championship team. And Jordan Walsh, who played for Link Prep in Missouri. He's a 6'7", very athletic forward. But they also brought in a bunch of transfers, man. They brought in Trayvon Brazile from Missouri, who will probably be their starting power forward, or center even, if they're playing a center. He's their interior guy, probably. Jalen Graham from Arizona State, who is a wing. And then the Mitchell twins, Makai and Mikal from Rhode Island, who are both bigs. And then another guard, and Ricky Council IV from Wichita State. But Nick Smith is really where all this starts. He is extremely skilled at everything you would want from a lead guard, including scoring and distributing. He can play off ball, he can play on ball, he can really do it all. And so that freshman backcourt for Arkansas is going to be elite. It's a really strong backcourt. And like I said a minute ago, Trayvon Brazile, the Missouri transfer, will probably be the starter at the 5. Because I think Arkansas is probably going to run 3 guards this year. and then 2 forwards, and I think Walsh would be one of those forwards. So I think that Brazil probably starts at forward. But the Mitchell twins are going to get a lot of play too. They both averaged over 10 points. One averaged 5.5 rebounds. The other one averaged 7. So Ricky Council as well, the Wichita State transfer guard, he'll play a lot of minutes, try to take some of the load off the freshman guards because they're not used to playing in this kind of level of talent in the SEC. So it's always good to have guys who can come in, run your second unit, and I think Ricky Council is capable of that. Jalen Graham, he's a wing from Arizona State who averaged about 10 points and 4.5 rebounds per game last year, so he'll get some run as well. Man, overall, Arkansas as a program is really starting to roll. They've been to back-to-back Elite Eights, so I think the question now is, can they take that next step? Can they get to that Final Four? Can they cut down the nets on Monday night? And I think they have every bit of potential to be able to do that. The SEC is tough this year. Tennessee and Kentucky look really good. Auburn looks good. So it's not going to be an easy road for them, but they have the talent to beat anybody. They really do. It's if they can put it all together. So I think their starting lineup is going to probably be Black, Nick Smith Jr., Devontae Davis, Jordan Walsh, and Trayvon Brazil. So we'll see about how good this Texas defense really is when they come to town, because Texas has some elite perimeter defenders like I talked about earlier with Dylan Mitchell and Tyrese Hunter, and Morris can play defense as well. You know, Chris Beard said you don't play for Kimball and not play defense. So, I think that this will be a really important test for Texas, and I don't think it's as much about winning the game. I think it's a lot more about figuring out what rotations work and which ones don't, who to have in your rotation. So I think that that's like a very important aspect of this game that's going to really impact the early games in the season, the ones that really count against Gonzaga and Creighton. I think it's really good for them to dip their toes into the water of like real elite talent off the bat and just realize what it's going to take to beat those top teams. So that'll do it for this video, guys. I really appreciate it. And go ahead and check out the rest of the channel. There's football stuff posted almost every day on here. There's live shows. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel and like the video. And I'll be back with you guys next week. Thanks so much.